Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to Inside the Firm. I'm here with your host, Lance Cayko. I am your co-host, VP Al Gore. How's it going?
It's going quite well. You know why?
Why?
Because I know that ARCAT.com has nearly 30 years of experience assisting architecture professionals in their search for the best products for their projects. Starting as a desktop reference with listings and manufacturers' catalogs, ARCAT has evolved into the #1 most used website for finding building product information. Today, ARCAT is an invaluable tool for AEC professionals, offering a powerful product search engine that is backed up by up-to-date CAD, BIM, and specifications. And just as it was in 1991, ARCAT offers all of this at no cost to the user. That's right, Al. F-R-E-E, free 99, and without requiring registration. I love that part. Visit ARCAT.com today and see why architecture professionals have used it for 3 decades. That's ARCAT.com.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yep.
Can Revit Rocket Ship, how can Revit Rocket Ship help you in your life?
Well, it's going to make me more productive so I can buy more donuts.
You are eating a donut right now. Mm-hmm. But instead of asking you, let's just hear what users have said, right? So, Adam Mayberry, this helped me quit my job and go off on my own. 2 explanation points.
That's amazing.
I didn't even know there was 2 until I just read that.
Wow.
Not just 1. Greg Manley said, thanks again for the Revit template and Revit Rocket Ship. They are making my life a lot easier. Also, 2 explanation points. This is a pattern that I did not notice until right now. This is crazy. Lindsay Fox. The list system provides a methodology and support. Learning becomes fun, inspiring, and motivating. If you want to learn Revit Rocket Ship, Revit, go to RevitRocketShip.com. Yeah. So, Revit Rocket Ship. Our excavator came by. And
Al is struck. He was speechless when we paused there for a second. You didn't even know. But we paused for a second. Al is speechless because he got some Don Julio. 1942 giant bottle of tequila. Man, Al must be treating his excavators well.
Yep.
Why don't my excavators give me anything?
Because they like me better.
I guess Al, the contractor Gore, is better than Lance, the contractor Cayko. That's for sure.
So be thankful to your excavators. Thanksgiving's come up. Be thankful for your health, your relationships, your family, your friends, and finally, one thing we're thankful for is our listeners. So as a thank you to our listeners, right now until Sunday, till basically the end of the month, November.
Yep, end of November, 2020.
You email me at akg@f9productions.com. I'll give you a copy of our free book that's out there on Amazon. I think it has like 40-some reviews or 20. There's a huge difference there between 40 and 20.
That is
somewhere in between there. The actual book in PDF form, I'll email it to you as a thank you for being an avid listener that listens right away. Until the end of November 2020, email me at akg@f9productions.com. If you want to, you'll be familiar, hopefully, with the design process and maybe learn a couple things. You'll see some of our cool projects, and then you'll see some of our strategies for how to review design, how to implement design, and it's a quick read. I'm sure you'll find something that will help you out. So even if you bought the book, it'd be worth it, but this is really worth it.
Yeah, we are thankful for you. Thank you for listening. Absolutely. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. You'll get the PDF for free this week. So I had something to talk about, Al, and it is first impressions. And it goes both ways. So there's obviously you as the business owner trying to make a very good first impression with potential clients. But how often does anybody talk about them making good first impressions with you, and what does that mean for you?
So I think we have talked about how to make a good first impression, and this list will go in reverse. So like if you reverse it in your head, it's how you should make a good impression. But I think this is getting at is how can you tell if you aren't going to be a good fit?
Yeah.
with a
Right
client?
away. Just to not waste time. Don't you know what I mean?
Yep.
To not waste time.
Yep. God, who's that great firm out of Seattle that did like cool landscaping?
Dig Architecture West.
Dig Architecture. Anyways, I was listening to a podcast when I was down in Houston. I think you were listening to the same thing on I think it was on Enix
Yes.
podcast, Business of Architecture.
Yep.
And the owner was saying, I'm interviewing them as much as they're interviewing me.
Yes.
He was one of the
Kundig.
Yes.
It was Tom Kundig.
What was it, Kundig?
Yep.
Okay.
It was absolutely. Yeah. Because but you're saying landscape. I don't know why maybe you're thinking that.
There's another one.
I've talked about this. Yeah. Business. I'm Googling.
Who's the ones that did the museum down here in Denver?
Oh.
Clifford Still.
Yeah. Clifford Still. Who's that? You look up that one.
Still
But the one I would recommend, which so 2 podcasts besides ours, obviously, is number 75 of Business of Architecture podcast. It's called Running a Global Multi-Generational Practice with, and I'm going to have to mute it here. Running a Global Multi-Generational Practice. Tom Kundig, owner and design principal. Literally one of my
I think it
favorite
was that one.
architects
It
of all
wasn't
time.
Brad.
He's just so good.
Yep, it wasn't Brad Coalfield.
Love their work.
Yep, it was that one. So that's the one to listen to.
Coalfield's cool though.
Yeah.
You know.
So okay. So you have basically your first meeting, and here are some of the things to look for to see how that client is going to interact with you.
Yep.
Right?
So what I did is I found an article, like I always do, and it's called, so it's on bustle.com, and if you Google bustle, Bustle, and then signs you're making a bad first impression. And the only articles I could find about all of this, about bad first, like what I was Googling or searching was, when clients make a bad impression on you. There was none of that, and that's why I wanted to bring it up today. So what I did is I flipped the script on this article, and what I did is I said, okay, there's these 11 signs, right? So we'll kind of go through them here. Number 1, and remember, this article was written as if you're making a bad impression on a client, but I think the opposite happens. Why wouldn't it? It's a give and take relationship 100%. So number 1, they've talked more than they've listened about you and your process, philosophy, etc. So obvious. I think this is obvious when follow-up emails or calls happen, right? So this happened to me. And the reason I'm saying this is because this happened to me this week, and I thought it was worth sharing with a client that I should have a potential client that I should have saw these signs. So I want you to see these signs.
Well, and I would say this is only noticeable. You should only really notice it in the extreme, meaning your goal should have them talk about themselves.
Yes.
And then you talk about how you can help them, right? But if they won't let you get a word in, if they won't listen to the process, like it's just like, how am I even going to add value to this?
Yes.
It's just going to all be them.
Example.
Okay.
One of the big points I make if especially with potential clients for us, since we've launched our build arm, is that halfway through the design development process, I try to emphasize, especially if I can already tell, like, oh, I would like if we could do a design plus build on this one, is I emphasize halfway through the design development process is that they don't that's when we can start getting you some preliminary pricing. So when I got the follow-up email and the call, hey, we're just nervous we're not going to be on, within budget. And I'm like, oh man, I was emphasizing that part of it, which is so critical, which is literally my selling point to you, one of them, of you go with us, we're going to outcompete other architects because we can possibly build this and get you numbers very quickly.
Yeah.
And in true numbers. So that's my example. Think about how that applies to you, right? Alex's point, I think, was really good about maybe they just don't let you get a word in. I've had those meetings before, and they're intense. It's pretty wild. Number 2, they didn't show you. They thought. Wait, did you just change that?
No.
They didn't show you. They thought you and your work were interesting. Literally, what if you're showing them some of this and there's no ooh, there's no ah, there's no. They should be hiring you because they're impressed. I would think, at least I'd like to think that, oh, you're hiring us because of our talent and the value we're adding as far as design talent.
Right. So what that means is not, you shouldn't take this as, oh, they need to flatter you. It's if they don't say, hey, I saw you, I saw this project and I really liked this, or, something like that. Just them explaining why they are thinking about you
and why you're at the meeting. Cause maybe exactly.
Because if not, then I think you're turning into just a commodity.
Yes, exactly. So
I'm a great translator today.
You are good at this. Eastwatch House is has done exactly that for us, right? You've had that experience too with potential clients so far since it's got published all over the place. It's like, oh, we saw this house and that's why we called you.
Yep.
So that's what we're talking about. Number 3, let's see if Al can do this. Okay, they didn't do their research. What does that translate to?
I think that just translates to, I don't know. I think that translates to they think that you're gonna do everything, and it almost translates to a waste of my time, like, because sometimes they won't have a land. They won't know what they can do. And it's like, wait, am I going to have to educate you on everything? Which is fine. But if they also want to cut in price because, also, if they're double-edged sword.
Competing.
Then it's like, wait, you want me to do all the work, but then you want me to cut my fees so that you don't value what I'm actually bringing, and you don't even know what I'm bringing. So, like, there's no communication.
Yep. Number 4, they weren't on time.
I think that's just regular.
It
It happens, and they apologize, and they say, sorry, I didn't realize this, blah, blah, blah. But it can be start of a pattern.
And what it ties closely to, I think, is, like, it's the same as if you don't get a word in. Imagine if they show up late, then you're in the meeting, and, like, you're not getting a word in to be able to describe, like, double whammy, right? Number 5, they didn't recognize your design accomplishments.
This goes back to number 2. They don't have to cite that you made something, but, like, hey, they have to at least know one reason why they picked you.
Exactly. Like a group home I met with yesterday. It was actually a very good meeting, not a bad meeting. But imagine if that potential client would have said at some point, like, that they just would have not acknowledged that we do group homes, or like, what if they'd have said to me in the meeting, so do you guys think you can tackle a project like this, or of this type? Like, didn't you? I thought you were calling me because I'm one of the experts in Colorado for these group homes.
Yep.
Number 6, they didn't express a firm intention.
Wishy-washy, just trying to get ideas.
Trying to get ideas. That's the translation right there.
Yep. Not actually going to accomplish anything. That's the problem. Spin, it's going to be a wheel spinning. This is what you're looking out for. Someone that just wants to talk or spin the wheels and not actually do anything.
Yep. Number 7, they didn't make you feel comfortable. Can I get you examples? Can I get you a water? Eye contact. They're just generally awkward. Think about that drawn out.
Right. And I would say that one is probably only in the context, like, if they're hitting on a couple of these, and then that one adds on, now you're building a case of, like, they got like 5 of these. I should probably back off, not do this project.
Here's a good one. They didn't smile. Number 8.
Oh, we still live in a human connected world.
Yes.
Even though we're getting digital, we still live in that world. So, maybe some people aren't naturally as friendly or something like that. But again, is this the 6th one that they didn't check off the box?
And do I want to work with somebody who is not fun? I'm serious. Or just pleasant.
NDSU alumni.
Yeah, that's me.
Nope. Christy.
Oh, Christy Hansen.
Christy
Sorry,
Hansen.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
That's fine.
I was going to say Alan.
Yeah, Christy Hansen. She goes, I don't do a project that I don't want to and that we're not going to have fun with. She just doesn't. She does awesome work, does cool stuff. She's always posting, making me super jelly sandwich about, I think she's in her backyard next to a golf course. It's so nice.
Crushing it.
Yep. And she didn't get that by working with a-holes.
Yes.
She did it just working with cool people.
Number 9. They keep getting distracted like Al is with his phone right now when we're in the middle of a podcast. No, this
Call
one.
me contractor Al.
This one drives me nuts. Because you're not respecting how valuable my time is during that first meeting. And do you, like, especially if this is one of the biggest decisions of your life that you're going to make, how much further is that going to go once we're in the design meetings and we finish up your plans? Let's take it all the way to the end, and you didn't pay attention to what's on the plans, and then I'm the bad guy because you didn't pay attention because you were distracted.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Number 10, they didn't believe in you.
Keyword, paranoid. Like, that's another way to look at it. Like,
Overly skeptical.
Again,
Not trusting.
there's 100 ways to do it. If they don't believe in you, they're just going to question everything and then look to blame you. And, you know, if they're paranoid about things, it's just going to be a terrible relationship. I was watching a framing video last night. Kids went to bed. I was like, hey, I'll pop on this framing videos. I've framed houses, but I'm sure there's something I can learn here. And what was hilarious was, like, that guy, he did staggered blocking instead of like a line blocking, and he did it for a different reason. He called a sill plate a mud plate, and he brought up multiple times. He goes, there's multiple ways to do this. There's multiple ways.
No way. You mean there's several different ways to build things with different materials and combinations?
Yes.
Wow.
So
Crazy.
I could see someone going into his job site and said, you did staggered blocking. What are you thinking? You're the worst builder ever. And then he's like, 1, that's acceptable. 2, my building stand. 3, this is a better reason for X, Y, Z. Like, it's just, if they don't believe in you, and you have those arguments every day, it's like, why did you hire me?
Yeah.
Why are we in this relationship?
Yeah. Number 11, the last one, they didn't follow up or respond.
Yeah, I think if they don't do that, it's like, let's say we're on a date and I say something to you and you don't follow up and respond, like, guess this date is over.
Yep. And I'll add a number 12, and this would be the last one. So this is, again, these are all 11 from that article. 11 signs your potential client is making a bad first impression. That's what I'm titling it, but it's called whatever it is. 11 signs you're making a bad first impression. So this was 11 signs your potential client is making a bad first impression. Number 12 I would add is if they email over or call over the weekend or after hours, I think my rule of thumb has been, maybe ours is the same, is I will reply once about that. And I'll try to wait until like a Monday or like the next morning and say, hey, sorry I didn't get back to you. I've talked about this before. Sorry I didn't get back to you, but I limit I limit when I talk to clients between the hours of blah, 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 and not on the weekends, etc. If they don't respect that boundary and they continue to do that, especially with your employees, if you have any, run away. Like, if you can feel that out right away, if it's during the contract negotiations, don't take the project. I wouldn't anyway.
Yep.
That's number 12.
And then also how you can set it up too is emails, just don't respond. Even if you do, like, send the schedule so it goes out the next morning. And phone calls, just don't take them until, so we have a lawyer. Like, if I called him, I don't call him after hours. I wouldn't expect him to answer or call me.
At all.
Yeah.
I don't even expect Al to answer after hours, honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes I don't.
It's true.
But you know who always is around?
Nick the Giant Renard.
Correct. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hello, best friends. I hope you all had a great week this week. A reading. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend, maybe even a best friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. So, say thank you for grace, thank you for mercy, thank you for understanding, thank you for wisdom, thank you for your parents, thank you for love, and thank you for kindness. Thank you for humility, thank you for peace, and thank you for prosperity. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. That's how I live my life. And that's one of the reasons why I am where I am today. Melody Beattie and Denzel Washington. Happy Thanksgiving, best friends. Toodles!
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. I appreciate Nick, everything he does, truly from the bottom of my heart.
I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, Nick. And I believe you and Al have a phone call at noon tomorrow.
I have a phone call at noon. Tacos are on their way. I would suggest going out early, just like Black Friday, but go out on Thursday, like 3 a.m. Just wait for those tacos. They're coming. They're coming in hot.
I tell you what else is coming in hot. The firm is coming down hot for more A.R.E. Jeopardy. Here we go.
Question number 1. What is the labor and material cost for a concrete driveway per square foot? Labor plus materials. A, $4. B, $2. C, $12. D, $8. And while everyone's thinking about that, I'm going to invite all of our listeners to grow your mustaches out till the end of next Monday. If you're listening to this at a random time, I think it's been, would it be 2 weeks that we're doing this for? No, a week and a couple days. Anyways, everyone at F9's doing it. It's super cool. My wife loves it.
Even Rebecca.
Yeah, even Rebecca.
Just kidding.
A,
We're going to get her a fake mustache.
You better bring a fake mustache. A, $4. B, $2. C, $12. D, $8. Da-da-da. We have DD, $4. It is D, $8. D, $8. Okay? Related but different. What is the labor and material cost for gypcrete over radiant floors? So it's basically a concrete also that's poured over your radiant floors. So just the concrete portion of that. Is it A, $4, B, $2, C, $12, D, $8?
Al, the contractor Gore. Just
Tricky.
throwing it out there at us. Throwing it out there. What do we got? What are the answers? What do we know?
We have Reba. You can put down a letter, and she's putting down a letter. She's gonna get disqualified. What is it? What she has? $8. B is, what is B? $2. A is $4. It is $4. It is $4.
That's what I was going to guess.
Yep. I thought it was going to be $7, and that's what I put in the budget because that's what I was kind of getting, and it turned out to be $4. So
Congratulations, Al.
thank you.
What a good contractor.
I appreciate that.
Number 3, S4S stands for which of the following? A, sanded on 4 sides. B, simple floor sand. C, surfaced on 4 sides. D, smooth on 4 sides.
Reread A. You read it wrong.
A is sanded on 4 surfaces. What? Okay. S4S stands for which of the following? A, sanded on 4 surfaces. B, simple floor sand. C, surfaced on 4 sides. D, smooth on 4 sides.
Doo-doo-doo.
I should be getting paid from Winecarb to write questions.
They might have that one.
We should get a sponsor, yeah. Let's see. A, C, A, and Mark is not. The correct answer is C, surfaced on 4 sides.
Look at that. Speaking of things to look
Wow,
forward
this guy's killing it.
to, Upcodes is going to be on a Monday.
Nice.
I got them. We haven't scheduled time, but they're coming up. So
All
I was talking to them on Twitter last night.
Nice.
I'm huge on Twitter.
He is huge on Twitter. How many followers? 10?
Maybe 12.
Yeah. Number 4. WWM
Whoa.
stands for which of the following? A, working white male. B,
Probably not.
Wigner, wheel, moil. C, welded wire mesh. D, wrapped wired mesh. That is A, working white male. B, Wigner, wheel, moil. C, welded wire mesh. D, wrapped wire mesh. We have C. We have C. We have C. Correct answer, C.
Look at that. Okay, who has...
I'm pretty sure Tyler crushed it.
Tyler crushed it. Tyler, where are you eating lunch today? They're going to the grocery store. That's what they do.
Alrighty. There you go.
RevitRocketship.com. Email me at akg@f9productions by the end of this month, November 2020, and you get a free copy of the PDF book. Lance?
Find us on LinkedIn. Follow us there. Find us on Facebook. Follow us there. Find us on Twitter. Follow us there. Find us on Instagram. Follow us there. And everybody have a great Thanksgiving.